Sorry, hold on. Music ran out before I was ready. Which happens surprisingly often. Wow. Anyway, good evening.
Welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations.
See, I was cutting it real close here because before we even start this game, I have a few things to say. Anyone here who actually immediately can like put a product to just the name Hobonichi? The planner, the people behind the planners, the specifically Japanese planner company, and I do have to admit, I let myself get very easily influenced when it comes to planners, but Hobonichis are really cute and I like them a lot, and this entire year I've been using a Hobonichi Weeks, which is like it's a little smaller than the usual stuff, right? So usually they have a bunch of planners at this point. They make planners where it's like, oh, you have one for each day, and the weeks is exactly what it sounds like. So it's like, oh, you don't have like one page for one day, but you have like always like two sides, like one spread for a week. So you have on the left side you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, blah blah blah, and on the right side you have like an entire page where it's just empty, where you can put whatever you want on it. Yeah. They are very very hyped planners, I guess, and I do have to say they are only planners. So please don't let yourself get talked into something where you're like, I don't even use planners. Like, I don't need that. I don't have enough going on in my life to revamp a planner. But I like them, and every year they bring out new ones. And just a planner, I hardly know her. Every year they bring out new ones, obviously, and around September is when like the new stuff drops. Like late August, early September is usually when it's like, hey, these are our designs for this year, these are new ones, these are returning ones, blah blah blah. And then I think this year legitimately like the site went down because people go a little too bonkers trying to pre-order them, and it's like it's just a book. I do have to say this. It's just a book, it's just a planner. You don't need a Hobonichi just because it says Hobonichi on it. They do have some good paper, but apparently they're also changing something of their paper, so in a lot of times it feels like one of those things where you see influencers use them or like unbox them and set them up, and this is my Hobonichi plan, and they have like 15 planners for a year. You do not need 15 planners you don't even need one necessarily. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this year, so end of last year, end of 2023, I was like, actually, you know what? I want to try and use a Hobonichi Weeks, because that sounds fun. They're not even that big. Like the normal planner is available in A5 and in A6, and then the Weeks is slightly taller than an A6, but like slimmer. So they're not big, right? And I've been using it on and off. There's been a few weeks where I've not used them at all. Too many planners indeed. There've been a few weeks this year where I've not used it at all, but I've very recently gotten into a very comfortable style with it again, like what I want to write in there, and everything, and how I want to design it. And honestly, for me, it's mostly one of those, I want to have somewhere where I can write my thoughts in and use stickers and whatever. It's like, it's just for me, right? And it's nice. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let's check out what they have this year. And lo and behold, oh yeah, one more thing. The Weeks I'm using this year is one of the One Piece collaborations, because I think this is like the 4th year they're doing a One Piece collaboration. They're collaborating with a few different things every year. They're also collaborating with like actual like artists, Japanese artists, for the planner design or the cover design for those planners. And it's a lot of, oh my god, I guess I guess you need an extra cover for the planner because the planner is only made out of paper. Okay, so you put like a little sleeve around it. But now the sleeve has a design on it, so you need an extra sleeve to keep the design safe. There's people who have like 3 sleeves around a planner. It's like, it's enough slices. It's enough slices! It's just a little booklet. You can write stuff in, but it's fun. It's fun to do, and I'm the type. I've tried doing. I know this has nothing to do with the game, but I need to get it out of my head real quick because mine just arrived. I have tried bullet journaling like 3 separate times, and every time I do it for a few months, and then it's like, oh my god, having to write out all of those months myself and all of those overviews myself every single time. I hate that. But then most planners, and I mean, there's so many companies who make those kind of things, right? You can get so many. Most of them I don't like because of how much they write into, like what they put into their little outlines. I'm like, I don't want to track my exercise. I don't exercise. Why would I need an extra fucking part in this book just for exercising? I don't know. That kind of thing. Oh, here's a tracker for how much you drink. I do not track how much water I drink in glasses. I am a bottle child. I drink straight from the bottle. That kind of thing is so silly. I haven't even started yet, but I'm gonna say sure. I'm just on a whole different topic right now still. Anyway, what I like about the Hobonichis is the weekly is nice because it's literally just 2 pages per week, right? So it's like on the left side. I think I posted a few, like in the beginning of the year, I posted a few of the things I had done in mine. I was like, okay, it literally only says like the dates and what week it actually is, and then everything else you can just kind of fill in yourself, and that's it. There's also there's monthly overviews at the very beginning of the book as well, yes, but I've not used mine a lot. It's like that's just right for me. It's like, okay, someone has already given me the entire year, so if I already know something is like, I don't know, concert is happening in like 6 months, I can already write it in there and remember, hey, there's a concert happening. And yay, be happy about it, whatever. But nothing else. Everything else I can design the way I want to. All this just to say, my package just arrived and I bought it straight from the Hobonichi store itself. So now I have the one for next year, which technically starts in January, right? So next year. But they already printed the last week of November in there. So you can technically already start this one the last week of November and already do the entirety of December in it before the next year starts, which is pretty cool. And this year's 2024's design is a dark navy. I got the dark navy blue one, which had the 1000 Sunny on it and a bunch of clouds and everything. And this year is very red, and it has the iconic straw hat and the berry design on it, and then mushi and some meat. It's very interesting. It's also very interesting to like hold the one that I've filled with stickers and everything, so it's slightly thicker, and the very new one where nothing is in it yet. Anyway, that just arrived, and I had to open the package before stream. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to look into this before I start stream. Good. Now we can play our game. I like planners, but I cannot get into it as much as some of those. Excuse me. Some of those influencers do online, where it's like,
oh, this is my planner for work, and this is my private planner, and this is my book journal, and this is my junk journal, and this is my movie journal. I'm like,
why do you need a separate book for all of those things? Like, why not just... Hallo? Kannst du aufhören, den Stuhl zu zerstören? Why do you need a separate book for literally every single fucking thing. And I say this as a book lover and as a journal lover. I think some people are a little too crazy with how many they use for everything they have. I'm so pretty when I tell the cat to not destroy the chair he's sitting on. You don't. Listen, I have a lot of notebooks. I will buy notebooks just because I think they look pretty, and if I can see what kind of lines they have, because I don't like lined notebooks because they usually have so much space in between each line that's just not worth it for me because I have a very small handwriting. So I either like when they have nothing in it or the like boxes. But anyway, ace shot only. Count off. No, hold on. First we save because Barry redeemed the save. I mean, I did because a friend sent it earlier, but I haven't looked at it in like more detail. I did! Tonight we're playing with French. That's the last language we haven't done yet. And once we're through with that, and there's still gonna be game left over because we're not finishing this game tonight, we're just gonna go with one more round of English, I think. Français, yeah. We're going with Français. $100 for an alarm clock is bonkers. The only the only thing I use as an alarm clock is my phone, because my phone has that option and it's right next to me when I sleep anyway, so that's good enough. Fromage! Yes. Count off! One.
Because everyone is a number one in my heart. One. One. Wow.
Shifu, 99 callouts, all 99 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir. Most likely. Hey, you. Yeah, you, the second number one for my rate. Sir, yes, sir. Here, a birthday present for you. What? Shifu, I didn't know you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have. Shifu, you're more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, but it's not my birthday. Lang Chi says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. That present isn't for you. It's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Your what now? Your younger brother's wife's younger brother. What? Tell him I said hi and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir. Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. You all have the same sprite. Shifu, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying. I should probably leave them to their alone time. Alright, meeting's over. Everyone, head for your posts. What is that even? His brother's wife's younger sister. That's... There's not even... your brother-in-law's auntie's nephew. What? I was about to say, I don't think there's an actual word. Like, at that point, you're not related anyway, right? Like, at that point, it's just a family member of, I don't know how many degrees. Smash! Sir. Yo. Were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Sheena and she already filled me in. It sounds like you ought to get in my way again.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation.
I have.
I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Alabastian embassy. And what if I say no?
Objection!
Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he is to be extended the same rights. Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Alabasta has the strictest immigration regulations in the world, or didn't you know? Even among my elite men, about only half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen and we might spoil the soup, if you get what I mean. We have at least one death on our hands already. Can't get much worse than that, no? How dare you make such assumptions? Don't take this the wrong way, but I thought I was in charge of Alabasta, Miss Von Karma. No, try to understand, okay? Things over in Alabasta are a bit of a mess right now. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? No one told you. We had an incident in Alabasta as well. Okay, we have at least 2 dead bodies on our hands. This is what you call a decision based on the investigation, Mr. Prosecutor.
Look, Wolfie, just let us in already. Wolfie!
What's our problem here, Agent Lang? Who the fuck are you? Not really, you're just having a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in. Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation. Having a debate because of my country. I can see why you call him a tree man. I'm terribly sorry for placing you good people in that kind of situation. It is all because I lack the strength to govern well. Please, it is nothing of the sort, Ambassador. You weakling, Circes! It's your frailty and inability to effect change in your country. What are you... The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. You know what this guy reminds me of? And I say this as someone who's never actually played those games, but he reminds me of the one tree from the Kirby games. Something about how his face is drawn. I mean, aren't all of the Pokemon professors also named after trees? I don't know. I guess. I've never played Kirby, but that one big tree in Kirby. There, you see. Oh, no way. Hi. Why do people keep saying hold it? Oh boy. Ambassador Alba, I ask you to please reconsider letting them into Alabasta. What's that? My very own secretary has been murdered in Babalu's embassy. And he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings completely unbeknownst to me. Here's a key on her head. Yeah! So I ask for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to Babal someday. Alright, I get it. Even if you back Ambassador Alba, I still have to give the final okay anyway.
Alright, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in.
Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're still a witness in the Babal murder. So I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Babal. Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good to me. The fewer troublemakers, the better.
She's not gonna be happy about that.
Hi, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes.
So I wanted to ask for a while now, but the lady over there, is she who I think she is?
That's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet. Franziska von Karma, the prosecutorial prodigy. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah! I knew it! You're the whip lady!
You may address me as Miss von Karma. You guys are almost the same age. Come on.
This one, Karma. I leave the investigation of Alabasta in your hands.
Thanks. Rest assured I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagarasu.
Frau Prosecutor! Frau Prosecutor, may I please investigate the crime scene? Yes, child. Now go and find out who murdered
the guy who may or may not have been very heavily involved in the smuggling.
Okay, Miss Prosecutor.
Smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Francisca a bit more about them before I head into Alabast. And I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Palladino for all that he's done for me.
Sure.
You've made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing. Agent Hicks' help I had requested was cut down before he completed his task. I know. There's no room for further failure in my perfect investigation. In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggled item I was following. You mean the Bubbly's ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Bubbly's ink to begin with? That's classified Interpol info. Francisca, as your subordinate, I'm a part of your investigation now. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you? Point taken. Very well, I'll fill you in. Makes it look like he's always being ironic. He is a very smug individual, yeah. Recently we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Shangfa. Counterfeit bills? Yes. As you may have deduced, the counterfeits are being made with Babal's special Bubbly's ink. It's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Bubbly's ink from real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Babal. That's where this document comes into play, correct? Correct. Mr. Cochin was smuggling large amounts of Bubbly's ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need to know that he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem. Let me guess, you still have yet to find the counterfeit bills for the smuggled ink? Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well let the counterfeit place to the pile. Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Bubbly's embassy. We're looking into the Alabastian embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden, mark my words, I will find them.
Bubbly's ink, they're in circulation in Shangfa. It's hard to tell they're fake.
Which reminds me, today a colleague told me, like, she had to, like, she got money at an ATM to pay for her cat's vet bills. But she need like the ATM only gave her like a straight up 100 euro bill, and she was like, I cannot go to the vet with that. It doesn't cost that much. I cannot go there. So what she ended up doing is she went to McDonald's and got a 6-pack of nuggets and had McDonald's like change the rest of the money. I'm like, you actually went in there with 100 euros and then you only got 6-pack of nuggets. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, if it gets the job done, I guess.
Well, I'm not so sure. I don't know if the vet would have had that much money. Like in. Anyway, she ended up just exchanging it at McDonald's. I'm like, I guess. I'm actually more surprised that they are allowed to take 100 euro bills. Ambassador Palladino, I'm in your debt. No, it's nothing. Because it's about all I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador, on my honor. Wow, you're so sensational. You really piqued my curiosity. I know that much, but I know I'm giving them to you wholeheartedly. I know that I am blah blah blah. That's quite alright. Oh, how about this then? Oh, and what exactly is it? It's fountain penny. Known as Babyliss ink, it's made exclusively in Baba. So this is Babyliss ink. We make it from with crystal oil, which is mined through our mineral mines. Please accept this ink. One dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer. Unfortunate for me, the ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I gladly accept your gracious gift. Ha! Great! Wonderful! I guarantee to you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And since we don't export it, if you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation. Talk about cornering customer along with the market. Shall we get going? Oh my god. Change or accept cards. Yeah. Still. I mean, the largest one we have at this point is 200, right? We don't have the 500 bill anymore. I wonder what you're supposed to do if you still have them. Like, do you have to exchange them for something smaller because, like, they're officially done for, or? It's been a while now. What's wrong, Kay?
I didn't get permission to enter Alabast, so we're going to go gather whatever info we can over on the Babyliss side, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you two.
Right, and I'm counting on you and Miss Funkama to sniff out clues in Alabast. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, just let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush on over straight away, no matter where you are.
I'll let you know when the time comes. Oh yeah, that does really look... Why is there a plant shaped like the tree guy in the corner? What the fuck is going on here?
What do you think you're doing to my subordinate?
Oh! What? You're... No! Really? Really? Phoenix only gets a little, hey, I'm actually in the background because this is not my game, but Larry is in this one. Are you for real? Angie, oh thank the heavens you're here. I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship. Your lordship? What? The raven, it appeared, poof, and then disappeared, swoosh. And I'm the steel samurai, my sword. I'm so confused, I don't know what anything means anymore. Who is this fruit? Huh? Who is this fruitcake? I'm Larry of the House of Birds, married man of Neil Tokyo, milady. Shut the fuck up. What are you even saying? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, Larry? Catch a punch, pay a cut. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not allowed to just give you... That's always fun. Now remember, this person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Yes, frankly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? What does it actually... Hold on. What does it say in the profiles about you? What does it say? You are not in there yet. Okay, maybe I need to finish speaking to you first. Your best bud is in a bind? You act like it's no big deal. You are not his best bud. What sort of bind are we talking about here? Suspect kind? I accidentally became a suspect in a murder. I say, that is quite the bind. Not that we're in the least bit surprised. Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one. That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry, it was you? You were the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph? Oh, you didn't notice earlier. I even winked at you through my hat piece. You are... How would he... Okay. What's going on? And why are you beet red? Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Oh, sorry, am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? Huh. This is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of the murder of a man who had snuck into this embassy, Master Second. Master Second. Well... Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. No matter what the facts seem to say, Larry's not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting struggle with misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing. Chifu, we've identified the victim! Good work. I'll take the report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. I won't! I think she just blocked him out. She was like, I do not want to remember this man whatsoever. She just blocked him out. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one is me. So no, you may not take a peek. Agent Lang. Huh? What's this? All-star cast. Agent Lang. Will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Yes, of course. You, let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad. Yeah, the prosecutor, Mr. Ashworth, right? Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me. Ever since that day 7 years ago. Chased after Yatagarasu non-stop. That's nice. To be fair, I literally, just experienced that day 7 years ago. A week ago. Please, no, I want to see Old Bag again. She already had her shining moment earlier. So thank you for the posture check and the ID time. I'm doing them in the wrong order, but that's okay. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found. Incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows Yatagarasu's MO very well, and his passion for the chase hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you going to make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest Yatagarasu. That's too many people I've tried to give deep voices to. I don't have this many layers in my lower register. I don't even know what eponymous... I don't know what that means, so... If you can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I'm in your debt, Detective Bad. Oh, okay.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
About the murder of the Master Second, would you be willing to fill me in on a few of the details? When the other goddesses showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty. We put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos. The master second, who broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another. Bat. Maybe they're calling him Bat. Detective Bat.
He's 60 now. His partner was killed 7 years ago. He's here after Callista you. His partner?
His partner? A friend.
A friend.
Not even a childhood friend.
A friend.
Retired army man. May explain why he's overly harsh on himself. How do you even know that? Daughter of my mentor. Technically your sister as well.
Detective Bat.
His older sister. I think I recently saw a post that was like, oh, you know, like back then when they were younger, she didn't realize like the whole age difference. She just thought she was in the family longer, so she must be his older sister, and that's why she's insisting on it, even if he's actually older by age. But she's been in the family longer, so she's his older sister, and like I can see that. I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in his room. Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, detective? That samurai. He was born to be suspicious, but not for the reasons you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he's completely harmless. Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the El Bastion Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagarasu showed. Keep in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats for the guests who had been called to sit in them were empty. A no-show? Who was it that failed to take their seat? Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location in his assigned room at that time. And where was he? He was on the roof, with one of his legs down a chimney. Chimney leads directly into this room. Oh boy, it's not looking good for you, Larry. Hey, Bats, you feel you had done yourself this time. What were you thinking? He's moved! He's moved even more into the corner. In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation. He was born looking suspicious. He was born looking like an idiot. He's just like... Alright. There's some weapons on display on this wall. Crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. Must be the counterparts to the Babalese knives. Which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. Oh. Larry the Steel Samurai outfit isn't real, he can't hurt you. Oh, let me look at these. Knives adorned with flowers are on display here. I expect that these are the counterparts to the Babalese knives. Blades of these knives should match it. And look at them! What? One of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the two pieces, the blade and hand, will fit each other. It would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. Then this means that an alabaster knife did find its way into Baba. How? Fuck. to steal Samurai's primary weapon, a samurai spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny just like my heart. Comes at you like whoosh. And wholly you just want to live life like that. You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite a symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced this spear is up to the task. What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off into the distance. I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say anything about wanting one? Maybe I can shut him up if you show him the piece of evidence. It will point something out about this spear. Sure, yeah, I can do that. Larry, about the spear. Is it even spear? Spear? Spear. Are you feeling it? Bam! I thought there was something strange about this spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me or is the spear a bit bent? What? No way, it's exactly as it should be, yo! I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands. You can see that this spear is clearly of a different shape. What do you have to say to that? I'm sorry. When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden it feels super powerful. And then, during practice, I was spinning it around and around. And bam! I hit the wall. Unbelievable. This is an embassy. But I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. One time on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man. Man, you're so stupid. Larry, clarify that for me, will you? Okay, so it was some field trip and I began to shadow fight with myself. Not that. I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, that. It's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything. That's not why I'm asking, Larry. Samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive. Where did that come from? You keep calling it a samurai spear, but it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. You can hit it against practically anything and it would bend. Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. See, your friendship truly is something special, Mount Edgeworth. That's not friendship, it's utter humiliation. Oh. I hope he didn't get roped into this specific job because of one of his girlfriends again. Larry, please. Weapon is used on stage. Larry hit it against the wall and bent it. It's hollow. Alright. Hello. So this is the victim, the mask is second. What is with this gaudy outfit? You don't know about Master Mask. A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. So this thief is separate from the Yatagata-san? I thought they were for a while, because their MO and targets were different. The mask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Yamcha was in charge of the investigation, so he'd know more about the mask. That's alright, I'll probably hear tales of his failure anyway. You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? I thought that the mask had quit the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name, a phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashino. Kashino. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, he determined that this guy is the real DOVA-SYNDROME. Cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Okay. What about this sword? So this is the murder weapon in this case. There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it? What did you expect? It's Steel Samurai Daddy's secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary because although he uses a sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spirit that he turns to in a real fight. Sure know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai. That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of the sword is a Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. But when he's on stage, it's thought to be... Wouldn't this one be hollow as well? I don't think he's gonna be holding a real sword on stage. What's he holding? Looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There's something written on the back as well. I'd like you to seal the Primidex statue in this room. It's not supposed to mean who writes a note to themselves like that. If I had to guess from the text, I would say that this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. So who's this person that requested the theft of the Primidex statue? The person shaking hands with the Steel Samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. Steel Samurai must be very popular. They're even using the National Treasure as backdrop. Just don't understand. What exactly is so great about Top Knot there? Clearly there's a depth to the show that a young person like you can't fathom. Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show of costumed actors? Maybe. Two gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally as lovely name. Mads Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare. Passion flowers. That's a rather unusual name. It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. As they say, you learn something new every day. As they lay down to sleep forever because they're tired and can't read. Two large flowers in bloom and the vines are supported by stakes and are still growing. Huh? There was the exact same statue sitting in a Babyliss office we examined. It's a Primidex statue. It was a national treasure of the Principality of Cordovia. It was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Alabas and Babal claim to have the real thing. Incredibly childish find to have. Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about the scene, Miss Von Karma. The apparent joy on the ambassador's face as he shakes the Top Knot's hand. That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in the photo is facing a different way. You're right. The statue's a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or secretariat level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched the statue around the time of the crime. Nyahaha! I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's... Hey! Yo, Pink Princess, how you feeling? Still feeling ill? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. So the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Alabastian Embassy a visit. A believe I may need to speak with her as well. Absolutely, but first I need to speak to Larry, I think. Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about. Hey, how about that? I've got a few things I've got to ask you too. What is it? It's like, both you and him. How's it the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? Well, that comes with being the main character in these games, I think. But also, hands off. Fancy, what about a promise you made to me? Promise? What promise? The one where you said you would model for my next book, Fancy's Whippity Whip Trip. I made no such promise. Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Loris Donim now? That's Donim? Loris Donim? Get that straight in your head, Edgy. Now I remember, you're the rude, pale imitation of a real artist. You got it wrong, I gave up on that whole Loris business. Besides, when Mangelina left me in my heart in pieces, that's when Mindy walked into my life. Oh, it's been so good to me that I wanted to help her in some way. And I figured I could through the Steel Samurai outfit. Your name blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet. I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as a Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess. Got it. I knew you know what I meant, Edgy. No, really? It's not so much as I understood, but a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. Mindy! I was about to say, that sounds similar, but it's not the same name. Sounds similar to that one mean girl from Bloom's Homeworld from Wings, but her name is Mitzi. He's dusty, so I mean, he's certainly somewhere. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight. Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too. Nonsense. I don't believe you have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. What an awful name. Oh, she's an awful person too. She's an awful person too. Wait, how was her name written? I think hold on. Mitzi. Okay, it's written M-I-T-Z-I. Girl, what the fuck? You liked Rings as a kid? I was more witch kid. That's the second was on. It is. Oh yeah, she's also an awful person. Why am I frozen? I watched the entire first season of Wings, but because a friend lent it to me in like fifth or sixth grade. But then everything afterwards is only a few episodes I've seen, and then I haven't actually watched it after the fourth season anymore because he thought it was a Wings spin-off. The animation for which I have the first season on DVD because the first season we got in Germany on DVD, but the second season we never got a physical release for. It was on TV, but I never actually watched it because I don't actually know where it aired. I just never caught it. And also the animation for which is so different from the original comics. I don't actually like it very much. Like, it has a special place in my heart because Witch has a special place in my heart, but if you'd ask me which one would you, do you prefer, and which one would you tell people to, look into to see if they'd like it, I would never recommend this TV series, ever. Not at all. And it starts with the whole, My gripes start with the fact that every single one of them can fly in the animation, despite them not being able to fly in the comics, because the only one that can fly is Helen, who, you know, is the master of air. Like, okay, sure, the one who masters air can fly, but the others can't, which makes more sense. But then the animation was like, but how are we gonna get them anywhere? We have to make them all fly. Okay, whatever you say. And they changed up Caleb. And they gave them like this weird other little creature because, oh, we need to put some more comedy in here because the show is not comedic enough. Anyway, enough about that. One day maybe I will talk about that, but not right now because I could talk about this for hours. Not right now.
Hi Zen, good evening.
However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. You're still ahead, hell yeah. Are you done with the first game? For past experiences has taught me that you're always at the center of some insane event. Says the guy who was involved in several murder cases, like, oh, I'm flying back to definitely not actually America, California. Murder case on the plane. Kidnapping case you help out with, and also murder. What? Ah yes, but Larry's the one at the center of an insane event. You finished the first. Nice. I hope I can finish the first one this week too. Not today, but maybe on the weekend. I think my internet is dying once again. Something. My tracking is very behind. How can you be so mean stabbing me through words like that? Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know. Okay, I get it. Stop Francie from whipping me from behind. I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy? I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. That's a long way to say you have no idea, Edgy. So you will tell me what exactly you did, Larry? No, not yet, Edgy. I'll take more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more!
Confess, now.
Okay, well, I was up on the roof. And why exactly were you out there? You know, the wintry customer and legendary hero. Legendary? Hero? Santa Claus! Santa Claus? I went to do that thing he does, so I climbed up to one of the chimneys. Well, when I got there was some smoke pouring out of the chimney. You are hired. You're doing a part-time job where your job is to wear a costume and play at being a superhero with special lines for kids at a stage show that takes place in the middle of 2 embassies, and you think it might be a good idea to climb on the roof to play at being Santa Claus? Do you get paid for this job? Do you get... What is wrong with this man? Corporate being... And... Well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I give up. Objection! Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? Of course I know. I did graduate from junior high, you know. Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Oh, crud! It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as a prime suspect in this murder. Come on, man. What's so wrong with pretending to be Santa? You can do that at home. You can do that in your own chimney. I don't care. You cannot do that in an embassy, where a special stage show, whatever is going to take place. What is wrong? It just comes to where you might think, yeah. True, true. Took up hot dog sales, got involved in murder, took up a security job, got involved in murder, took up painting, got involved in murder, took up this gig, got involved in murder. He's not even done yet! Oh my god. He has done a lot of things. Being a video game character, I'm afraid it's terminal. You can't save him. It's a good thing. It's a good thing he's stuck being a video game character. If this was a real man, I would lose my mind even more, I think. Also, hi, good evening.
Objection.
Let's start with the fact that it will be the ideas of March in a matter of hours. Ah, yeah. The it's not ideas of March. He burns through 5 jobs and 9 girlfriends in 3 years. More like the girls he's dating burn through his money. Because somehow he still apparently manages to get them interested because he has money to spend on them. Where he gets that money from, I don't understand. But I guess. Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit. No! Wait a sec, we're not in court. Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon. Oh, that. Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in his room, you know? Yes, apparently you did. He finished junior high. And, well, I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You talk about shock, I was the most shocked of all when I heard he killed someone. Why did you... Foolish, fool looking especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you? Who would believe such a tale? Sorry, Miss Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry. Edgy, you believe me? I just knew our friendship is something special. Anyway, even if Larry had simply forgotten a sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name. Which means that I will have to prove his innocence from a different angle. This man is so stupid. But I do want to know one thing. Where did you read all this? It's a Steel Samurai. I want you to answer this for me, Larry, and depending on the answer, I may let you live. Steel Samurai that was up there on that stage. Was that really you? Yeah, sure was. Larry, you... Steel Samurai Sushi slash. For the performance of this man. It's completely useless, worthless bump. I fear may never recover from this. Aww. Okay, and who are you? Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Miss Pink Princess, if you would please answer... I don't know I want to do this anymore. See, I thought the costume was stupid because I think those actual fucking balls for boobs look stupid. But this is even worse, and I held back from commenting on the ball boobs. But what? Why? How did you Why do you have this job? Why would Larry try to hook up with her? Is she just filling in for someone else? Please tell me she's just filling in for someone else.
This must be what they call fate.
How could this happen 2 days in a row? Aren't you Miss Oldback? Why are you so surprised?
Nah, so you're the one that got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now.
You are acquaintances with Larry?
Oh yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know.
Yes, well you were a security detail and somehow both of you managed to fuck it up.
That's right, it's okay, Magifu, you don't need to be jealous. I was in the next room, you know, trying to get some beauty sleep. That's not gonna help. It was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I don't wanna... Could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this.
He's the biggest fan of the Steel Samurai, but I think both you and Larry are just destroying it all for him.
I guess I've misjudged you, edgy poo.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to die. You misjudged him.
I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know.
That was no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I was trying to do.
But it looks like the winds have shifted and he's now willing to be chased after. Huh?
And that is soon to be bloody.
I'm simply overwhelmed.
Don't you worry, Edgy Poo. I chased you for forever to the ends of the earth. Stop. I'm gonna get a restraining order. Jesus Christ, woman. Isn't that just peachy? This is one of those rare times when one's just gonna actually see eye to eye. I imagine she might actually, it might actually be part of an agency, yeah. It's like, hey, you need someone to stand in a costume the entire day where they can barely breathe, and it's getting really hot and sweaty, and then you just stay in character the entire time. Here you go. Oh my god. Now then, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at Gatewater Land as the Ping Badger. What are you talking about? That was ages ago. That was yesterday. That was yesterday! I worked at Global Studios before a long time ago, right? Well, they called me up this morning, kind of out of the blue actually. This morning. They called you. Apparently the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold, so she is filling in for someone else, see? It happened so suddenly, so they called me in to be a last-minute replacement. They did not have enough people on staff at that studio. I really couldn't say no, so here I'm playing the role of the heroine. Instead of the Mindy girl, I mean. But that poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her, she's going to have a terrible time when she returns. I mean, I'm not exactly great at reading the... Reading that strange font they used, plus I was called in to be a stand-in at the very last second, so I tripped over all the most important lines. I should have wrecked all so that the shorty can hit the stage somewhere instead of the enemy, and the audience was in an uproar, but as an avant-garde actress, now forgive me, because I tell you, they're really just a bunch of simpletons. Oh yeah, Penny would have been fun. Why does it have to keep... Why does it have to be old? You're a rather lively old lady. So basically, you received a stand-in request this morning, correct? You got it. If you need to see it, I've got it right here. Look. It appears that she's telling the truth. Request from Miss Oldback to stand in for Mindy, the Pink Princess actress who fell ill. A tell you, my fan actually moved the entire audience to tears. Yeah, they were crying because it was finally over. It's tears of laughter, as I recall. Being famous has its problems too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving night. Oh my god, he needs to stop writing letters. He needs to stop writing letters like this that can get mistaken as weird little stalker letters. Oh right, that's an M. Mindy. Looks like a W to me. That's how I would write a W if I was drunk. How is this an M? Whatever. Wendy for Wendy Oldbag, you know. See, if I read it as Wendy, she would definitely read it like that as well. I was just taking my break when I found this stuck under the door to my room. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look at what it says. Where? Wendy? I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving night. Absolutely revolting. You think you get my name right? There's no accent in my name, but we're playing with the French voices tonight, so... This is horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before? I feel 100% safe. Hey, where do I factor into this? You bust that evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Poo? Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective on your house later. Come on, Edgy Poo, stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get. His mistakes from bad penmanship. I want out of this. What were you doing at the time of the crime? What crime? What? After the show was over, I had nothing but free time on my hands. So I used a fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm. Well, a murder occurred in the room right next to yours. Is that right? Oh, Edgy Poo, I'm so scared. Hold me, correct. If you could please not cling onto my personage. In any case, I take it then that you failed to show up at Ambassador Alba's speech. Well, no, I didn't go. I mean, I may have the heart of a young, tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As soon as the show ended, my hips started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all. Can you provide proof of your condition? Are you just going ahead and ask the doctors in the infirmary? They're the ones who carried me from the theater all the way to this embassy. I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave the room is rather pleasant. Prosecutor from Karma, I've brought the police dog as you requested, sir. Go work. You may leave now, officer.
Dog! Missile.
This dog. I requested the assistance of a dog in our search for the Yatagarasu. Looks like you guys have some pretty bright dogs in this country, too. Man, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy. That's the police dog Gumshoe's been taken care of. I think its name is Missile. Yeah! What a fitting name for a police dog that dishes out in fun and attacks. Action alone isn't exactly what's going to solve the case for us, you know. Now, Miss Al, I want you to find some clues. Go! Good dog. You really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. What do we have here? What is this? It looks like a small hot dog, but... Wait, Francisca, isn't that an official samurai dog? No, bad, Miss Al. He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that. It's just a meat substance snack featuring a steel samurai. I'm sure you'll be fine. It's quite a bit of information you get at the end in a single quick glance. We should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog there in the first place. It looks like the snack wasn't all miss I found. What do we have here? It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in cross-dressing. I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like the shirt would even fit him. A samurai dog and a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it. Oh no! 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 If you could please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt. Brown? Alright, what is the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask and I would have gladly given you your Thanks, but no thanks. The shirt was found here at this crime scene. What? Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here? I know nothing. Nothing, I tell you. But I admit that I used a fireplace to dry that shirt, but I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know? Wearing a pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. On top of that, I get fingered. Top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. You're too cruel, Edgy Poo. Thank you for the hydro time and the plant. You claim that you never once set foot inside this room. Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I tell you, it's always like this. It's always... It does. It does. The quote board is trying to kill me. The weekly tabloid articles missing the cameras. Missing a lawyer always makes sure it's my fault. I'm missing. Speak of missing, as a matter of my husband. Can you believe when we got married, he said, I guess I'm stuck marrying you. What kind of way to propose is that? What he should have done is he should have whispered in my ear. I don't deserve you, but I can't help it. Will you marry me? Honestly, man these days. But technically, if he married you, wouldn't it have been man of back then? Man from the old days? You know? Well, I don't believe she's lying about her actions, so I can safely assume she really was drying her shirt by the fireplace on her break. And somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room into this one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours? A brilliant mind of yours! You really can see through everything about me. And so the feeling of dread continues, but I suppose I should ask for more details. I'm actually more surprised that she fits into the same outfit that a woman like maybe a third of her age was supposed to wear to this event. The samurai dog was yours, wasn't it? Of course, and forever yours, my edgy wedgy poo. How old are you actually? We still don't actually get an age for you, except old. Okay. If you could just stick to what I asked you. Edgy, are you and Miss Oldbag? No. You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, the samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy. A present? Studio bigwigs basically told us to play the delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them onto the pushcart just to move them all. So you guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy? So, did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions? Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question, or are you going to stick up for me? Do you do your job?
About that, see, after the show I went to rest a spell in the dressing room.
Because of my bad hip, you know. Yes, you have sat your bad hip like 15 times. And then the samurai dogs are just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show. Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them as well. Excuse me. Oh, I tried one. I thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kids show, their taste was probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. Huh? Part of the costume. It's part of the costume. Because she's filling in for the person who was originally supposed to play this character. As I sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is... What is it now? I know, I bet you want a box too, don't you, my SC poo? Oh, am I to say no to you? But I'll only give you one, the rest are all for me. Looks like the lesson for today is that when the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers. Help me. Help me. Help me, Jesus. There's no trace of this room's fireplace being used. And your point is? Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to this fireplace. At least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of facts, is it not? Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof? There's testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So, no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. That is pretty surprising because my first thought was also maybe he was just at the wrong chimney. But I guess not. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went? I see. So what you're proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldbag's fire. So basically, the fireplace of neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you're implying? Yeah, precisely. The lady's undershirt and missile found. Why am I getting whipped? Are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncuffed sea-slug. If you know the owner of said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already. You have it all wrong. This is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found in the fireplace of this room this lady's undershirt. Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other. Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order? There's an X on the back wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can get a better look at it.
Hell yeah.
What in the... The wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighboring room. The neighboring room? There appears to be nothing particular about the next room. But the fact that there's nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. It's the fact that there's a secret passageway through this room's fireplace. That's weird. We now know that the fireplace connects to two rooms, but how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as the masked second killer now, are you? The mask, the seconds. No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip, so she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with the Master Second's murder. Dun, 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 dun. It would appear that the answer's made itself known. You make quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well then. If you're prepared, I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Yeah, I'm counting on you, Edgy. Leave it to me, Larry. The first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. My lie? I know that there's still something you're keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Because you keep lying! Gosh, you should just hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. You are so... Confess to every murder in the whole world and then kill myself. Throw everything into mass confusion. You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. No? No, he's just special. Larry, I only have one thing to say to you. If you make a face at me, it's no use. A man who's ready to die is strong-willed, you know? Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you. Although, allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case. And that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. Alright, hey, this time I tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight. On his actual base sprite on this one, he looks so dead. He doesn't have light in his eyes or anything. He looks so dead on this one. After the show, I left a pushcart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then I took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted a chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know? So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Larry, I thought I just finished telling you to not lie anymore. But it's kinda ultra embarrassing. And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me? Actually, man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can just blurt it out. I'm just gonna have to reason it out of me. As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie. I have every intention to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter.
Yeah.
You certainly wanted to play Santa.
No, well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. It was down at Gold Lane.
I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. A perk to being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know? Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney, after all. There's probably some kind of Christmas-themed horror movie where Santa does exactly that. Is it worth delving into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal? Oh, is it? I guess. Actually, I believe in the case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. Are you saying that your body isn't exactly made of Santa quality stuff? Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang. Gee, that's so incredibly mean. Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world? Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know. In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you were delivering a present to. I was, delivering a present to a child not basking in the warm glow of love? Objection. That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie. You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that? In any case, the person you wish to deliver a present onto was most certainly... Oh, hey, now we have an actual face to you, huh? Interesting taste you have them as a suspect. Don't spread lies about me. I totally didn't want to see Miss Oldbeck so much that I tried to go down the chimney. I advise you to stop right there in your bashing of a lady. I must admit that I myself hardly ever have the want to run into that lady. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is best summed up with this. There is the... This is something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess, Mindy, was it again? It seems that this man is quite taken with that actress. That's not true, Reggie. She's the one with the hearts for me. I just know it. I can feel a sexy beam piercing my heart when she's watching me. What? I'm not saying that again. Filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly. Oh! Parisian of a man. She knows more words than just foolish. You haven't matured at all since we last met. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes. This guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. I suppose you could put it that way. What the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why do you all have to make me out to be some sort of bad guy? To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure. For your pathetic spaghetti spine turning in this. As it looks like I got the hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here. It looks just like what you do in court. I guess old boy here still has something you'd like to say. Like she says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits. Yeah, I don't think so. Larry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest? Yes, he has. He does not. No, he does not know that. Okay. You think that all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy? I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Then, to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. That's what you really meant. But why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Someone say something! Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this not as a confession but as testimony? So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim, claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that? So it was you! You're my stalker! But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I believe you're the type of woman who's wholly focused on one man and one man only, and as long as Edgy Pull is alive, I can just drop him and be unfaithful. No, I can't. Although earlier I was tempted just a tiny weeny bit by that wolfman, but... I'm not really mad. I'm so inspired. Is inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all around completely worthless man. But I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. Wait, now I do have to read it. What the fuck did she say? It's just a test of my love for my dear Edgy Poo, which I pass with flying colors, but for now I will stay completely true to my beloved Edgy Poo. No, please, please, find someone else. I believe there's nothing further for me to prove at this point. What do you mean? Of course you've still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Minnie. Proof, you say? Remember, Edgy, everything is evidence in court, right? You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry, but I understand your point. Yeah, see, I'm totally pro at this now. To be fair, you are up there in the ranks of has shown up in courts every other case, despite not being involved in like the court proceedings. Like, you're not a prosecutor, you're not a lawyer, you're not a judge, you're not the detective working the case, and yet you do keep showing up in the in court. So yeah, you're totally a pro. Very well. If you wish to see the evidence, let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see.
Objection.
Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter. Hey, why are you showing that thing to me? Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, you loving night. Isn't that just romantic? You weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
Objection.
You can pretend to be ignorant all you'd like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit. The part that is apparently supposed to be an M-I-N-D. Larry, I suggest you take penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again. The heck? What are you talking about? Speak English! You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye. Stop picking on me? So embarrassing. There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? Punching. But that will have to wait until we're off this crime scene. Did you save me from this scary man? Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake. That wasn't me. Come again. It's a fake! Someone's out to get me, so they made a fake letter.
Hi, Spooky! I'm good. How are you doing? How's your eye?
You set me up. Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean. Penmanship analysis. What's that? No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours. And we'll know soon enough who it was that sent this letter. I'll never write another thing in my life. It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight. But you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting. Yeah, it's good, doing a lot better. I'm glad to hear that. I saw you go live earlier. What were you playing? I got the notification sometime between when I was going home. I saw that you went live. I was like, oh, I can't wait. This autograph in our mysterious letter. If you compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our questions soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure. I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy. Who would have guessed? You know, we could have, like, done without all of that. So he finally confesses. I saw the pink princess being carried around in the stretcher and got worried, alright? I wanted to go into Minnie's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was a chimney or buzzed, Edgy. Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney? What a criminally overactive imagination. Well, at least I was honest and wrote Minnie a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down through the chimney. Except for the fact that the letter was an utter failure at conveying sad sentiment. I'm really, really sorry. Larry, you may be a shameful good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. I thought I always knew you weren't the killer. Why do you insult him so badly? It's always cozy. Oh, we're trying to find the murderer right now. But it's cozy. I told you to trust me, because at the very least I can attest to that about you. Angie, you're... We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you. No, but it's so funny. It's like, wow. You're dirt. You're worth less than dirt on this heavenly place called Earth. But at least you're not a murderer. In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butt sought to climb down the chimney, not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door. Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay? Oh? What? What does a wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet? Well, for one, you're part of the Ace Attorney franchise and not Splatoon, and two, I wouldn't let you go either, because as soon as we leave, let you leave, you're gonna get into more trouble. And I don't want that. I'd rather have you right here where I can see you. He means the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. That's exactly what I mean. We can't only rely on the words of the suspect after all. He may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night. The bloodstained samurai sword that was after the crime scene. As long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite. I do like that Lang actually gets into the whole thing, like, he accepts the whole wolf thing, like, he embraces it, that's cool. I see that guy, he looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me. I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler, I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. No. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got. I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon, but the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. This is one game I can't afford to lose. Ooh. Man, the longer I look at any of his sprites, actually, wait, I have to do this right now, otherwise I'll forget. I know that this man is very much like the type a friend of mine likes, and I need to make sure, I need to ask. I need to ask. I would never live it down if I misjudge a character so badly, but I think he is very much that type.
I was the one who found the body of the victim the master second. Beside him was a samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. I was supposed to be in the steel samurai's dress. It was supposed to be in the steel samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too. I see. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you? If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that. Ooh. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are long-term friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence. Think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. Oh. It's one of some serious issues with prosecutors. Come on, I can think of something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. Since his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. Alright. Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean, the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Oh! Which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? So our statement is too important to just let it slip by. It's a samurai sword covered in the victim's blood. I suspect he beat the victim to death with that thing. Objection! Do you know what this is, Agent Lang? It's a long spear, right? We used to use those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down. Spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. It's the next most effective weapon after the whip. Oh! I think the whip is in a slightly different category. So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently a certain troublemaker hit it against the wall in his embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the steel samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, the replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow. Let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet, there's not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Yeah, the sword and spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. See? But I wish I'd make them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer range out move. I get such an earful from the director to play for not doing it in the show. Still, some of my special move was changed tonight because of him. That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se, so all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guessworks and taking risks in place of real logic is hardly the von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I'm not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. For no one should have conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place. Ooh. A foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There's nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory. Please. I know this has been ingrained into your brain your entire life, but I need you to realize that your father was not a good man, and neither were his teachings. That may be your opinion, however, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth. You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed the mask the second without bending it. Oh? So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course. What I need is evidence even he can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. It's possible to use a samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on our weapon. So isn't it only natural that suspicion would fall onto the owner of said weapon? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy.
What about the walls outside?
There's no stone we've left unturned. And we've managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is a sword. You left no stone unturned? Is that a fact? If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you. The only place where you could find blood was on a samurai sword. And that's right, even with Luminol. Which means that there are no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Do we have a problem with Agent Lang's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? Yes. If you believe that there's no other door of possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you. And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon. I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy. And they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Au contraire! We're standing right in front of one. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your man inspected everything in the investigation. What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate when people like you slander my man. I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there's something your man couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon. Alright then, I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed the master second. What exactly is it? The real murder weapon which not a single person is yet to touch. Is this? The national treasure of Alabaster. You mean the Pyramid X statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which, I believe, means that neither you nor your man were able to examine it, correct? You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Alabas and the Republic of Baval. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in the balance. Over stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue? I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined. Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction the statue is facing just before and after the crime are different. And there's only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He's most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please, let's be rational about this. Lang Shi says, just go already. Yes, sir. Shifu. Yeah. I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Primidex statue. I see. Wait, but then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. He may act all weak and frail, but that old man's a tough cookie. I guess you gotta be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know? Agent Lang, what do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue. What do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already. What? Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet. I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Have a good night, Mel. Thank you for coming by.
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take the responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? If we're going to talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. Be a real problem for a man if something were to happen to me. Alright then. Less talk and more investigating. If you want to know the truth, we can stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminol... What? Chemiluminescence test on the statue? What the fuck? Jesus. A luminol test, huh? Good thinking. If the statue is the murder weapon, then some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay, let's get the forensics team in here. Looks like you're the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. Guess this means that this is the real weapon that killed the Master Second. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate yet if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill the Master Second, so the charge remains. We are hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. You think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. The sword drawn already, there's a certain aura of valor around him. Lang Shi says those who hold the sword hold an equally strong will. It's said that the weapon one holds reflects the strength and will of one's character. I wonder if this was created as a show of the country's majesty. And what's that Francie's whip say about her character? It says that I'm ready to accept punishment and those who would break the law. Why are you glaring at me? I thought you understood that I'm not the killer. I believe in your case she wishes to accept punishment before anything else happens. Okay. There's a shield on his back. I wonder if that's supposed to mean that his back is covered? Like she says, those with the shield on their back deflect all enemies behind him. It means that he's ready for any blindside attacks that may come his way. Agent Lang, there's no need to attach overly complex meanings to such a simple thing. You didn't seem to get Lang Shi's saying, so I was just explaining it to you. The saying itself is what I was referring to when I said overly complex, you know? Oh! Ooh! What do we have here? The sturdy smudge. It looks like a handprint. What's a definitive bit of evidence like you doing under here? Looks like we've got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. It looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now. Hey, forensics guy. I want results on these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me? Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir. Good. And? Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, You know the victim of the murder in the Babalese embassy? The prince belonged to him, to Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. That's... What's going on around here? It's impossible. Each prima duck statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But by the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually Babal's prima duck statue. Impossible. It can't be. Larry never once set foot on Babali's soul, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of the smuggling operation was killed with an alabastrian knife in Babal. And Damaso II was killed on alabastrian soil with Babal's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu, who visited both countries. Pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form. To be continued. Well, let's see how far we can get. I've left the Master Second's investigation to Francisco and returned to Baba. I suppose my first order of business should be to look into Baba's statue. My first order of business is actually a sip. I am thirsty. Mr. Edgeworth! Hi! It's okay, what's the situation? That's great. Investigating is so much fun. In other words, they've made absolutely no progress. We weren't goofing off, honest sir. We're investigating our hearts out. Very well then. Would you care to give me an update on your investigation? Oh, we had a really fun time, sir. I know it. Zero progress. In any case, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. You have permission to enter the Alabastrian embassy, is that correct? Yep. As a local detective, I'm helping out with investigations on both sides, sir. Good. In that case, I can leave these pieces of evidence with you. They belong to the lady under the Pink Princess's mask. Pink Princess? What kind of lady was playing her, sir? The kind that was also playing the role of the Pink Badger yesterday? Ugh. Oh, understood, sir. If I have to run into her, I'll give them back to her. And if I don't, then I guess I'll unload them somewhere. It doesn't seem all that enthused to go find her, but I can't blame them. Evidence that has lost their value even to Detective Gumshoe. Now then, I don't believe I'll be needing this anymore either. What? Are you really going to throw that autograph away? Yes, because that Steel Samurai was a fake. Oh, scrunched up into a ball and disposed of. Wait, what? What do you mean by fake? Now then, I believe it's time for a little housekeeping. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Yay! Interesting. Cement powder. No, any other treasure. Maybe said you should detect a place that is the smallest swap. I wanted to... Something like that, sir? I wanted to look at the ladder. A ladder. Actually, that's a step ladder. They're the exact same thing. No way, from the stock shop, they're totally different. Of course, from a thief's perspective, the best kind of ladder is the rope ladder. The step ladder is much too heavy to carry around, after all. And from a prosecutor's perspective, any type of ladder is guilty of being dangerous during an earthquake. Okay.
Miss Edgeworth.
You look like you're enjoying yourself, Detective.
Oh, I don't have much else I enjoy as much as a good investigation, sir.
So, what did you find out?
Well.
I take it he has found nothing of any particular use, as usual. Aww.
Hey, Miss Edgeworth, I got something really interesting from Ambassador Palayan.
Oh. Then what is this something interesting?
Yes, sir.
What the fuck is it?
That's so pretty. I'm so jealous. That's a real treasure there.
Why does the flame burn green, Detective?
Apparently, if you burn a special wheat crystal oil that they only make in Mobile, it burns its green color, sir.
Interesting. So it's a special property of the oil. I suppose this is a ploy to force people to visit Babal should the oil run out.
Hey, Gummy, what about these silhouettes?
They stuck some cutouts on the outside of the lanterns to project the images. Oh. Silhouettes, huh? They're rather pretty, aren't they? Wait, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be asking for an update on the investigation.
Thank you for the follow. Come in.
Hey, what's wrong, sir? There's something I want you to investigate for me. Do you think you can do that much? Uh-huh. You got it, sir.
That's not fair. Why is Gummy getting to do all the fun stuff?
Well, that's because I'm Miss Edgeworth's partner.
I can't believe you took advantage of the confusion and stole my role as assistant.
I expect the two of you to get along and work together like professionals on this.
It's my lovely souvenir. Yay! Oh, you want a Pikachu? Okay. Pikachu. Pika Pika. Pikachu. I want my own souvenir.
So you're back now, are you, Mr. Edgeworth? You must be tired. Here, with this, you can eat whatever you'd like. And these are... discount tickets for our cafeteria. They open tomorrow at 10 in the morning. I appreciate the concern. However, these coupons do nothing for me right now. This open-air stage, what function does it serve exactly?
Well, normally we use it for a variety of events. It's all to attract that extra bit of attention to Baba. I heard that tonight over in the Alabaster Rose Garden, Ambassador Alba was to give a speech. And you know what? Manny told me that I really should give a speech too.
Mr. Koshin told you that?
Yes, he did. Which is why I thought I should give a speech of my own. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to.
Because of the fire the other goddesses started?
Exactly.
Ambassador Palladino, I'd like to ask you a little more about the Primidax statues.
I see. Well, let me ask you this. Do you know that Alabasta and Babal used to be one country called Codopia? Yes.
Yes, I know that much about your history.
Well, the Primidax statue belonged to the founders of Codopia. At least, that's how the story goes. It was bequeathed unto the king of Codopia as a symbol of the country's wealth.
So it was meant as a symbol of sovereignty and the right to rule, I take it.
Yes, that's right. Which is why both countries are so adamant about their claim. We hold a real statue, therefore we hold the right to rule, is the reasoning. It's pretty petty when you think about it, though, I suppose.
But if Alabasta and Babal were to re-establish relations, shouldn't they put an end to the squabbling over the statue?
I have no reason to believe so. The Primidax statue is even more important now as a key to diplomacy.
I wonder if Ambassador Palladino knows about what has happened to the very important key to diplomacy. Perhaps I should try showing him this key and see what he has to say about it. In a second. Ambassador Palladino, there's just one thing I'd like to ask you about.
Yes. Oh, don't worry. You can ask me more than just one thing. How about 2 or 3? In exchange, I expect you'll be coming to Babal, yes.
Thank you, but just the one thing is all I require. Manny Cochin, I'd like to ask you about this man who was your secretary.
Sure, I tell you what I know.
Thank you for your cooperation, Ambassador.
He was, well, if I had to put it in one word, he was an able man. If there was ever anything I needed as an ambassador, he was able to get it for me. To think that a man like that had a hand in a smuggling ring right under my nose, going completely unnoticed. Actually, I suppose because he was an able man, I was unable to detect his dirty dealings.
Sounds like Mr. Koshin had a very sharp mind. Recently, money had been really busy. Since I became the Bubbly's representative at the Country Unification Council, he's been working tirelessly to cover my work for me. I'm sorry, but what is this Country Unification Council? Oh, well, you see, had tonight's events proceeded without a hitch, our two countries were to reunify and become one again.
What?
That's crazy. That is good news. But I guess with how things turn out, that dream won't be realized anytime soon.
I suppose not.
Oh, what?
Ambassador Paleno, if you could please take a look at this for me. The Prunedex statue sitting in Alabaster right now actually belongs to Babal. So it would appear. I received a call from Miss Von Karma about this earlier. Then you will understand why I wish to inspect Babal's Prunedex statue immediately. Because the statue currently in your country's possession.
Yes, well, I've already inspected it myself. It is definitely Alabaster statue. I know, because it's the real statue.
Then you're saying that Babal's was a replica?
I'm embarrassed to say it's true, even though I knew that someday it would be exposed. I received my orders from the leaders of Babal, and I was to negotiate with Ambassador Alba at this event. I was to negotiate with him and fix the results of the evaluation tonight. To say that we could not determine which statue was the real one.
Why are you telling me this?
Well, because you already figured it out. Our statue is just a hollow gold shell. Even if Babal were to lose face, the reunification of the country is what's important. I'm right in thinking that, aren't I? I'm not making a mistake, right?
You don't know yourself, then I won't pretend to know either.
Never thought that by being betrayed by my own secretary, the real symbol of wealth would be given to me. Isn't it simply ironic?
Hey, where are you going? Are you heading back to Alabas?
Yes, but before I do, I suppose I should give you a summary of what's happened.
Oh, I see. So there's been a murder in both countries using an object from the other country.
That's the gist of it. Babal is just as strict as Alabast in the inspection of the people and things that enter the country. Meaning that somehow both murder weapons were smuggled into the two countries. It's the only logical conclusion that can be drawn. Thus, the key to the weapon smuggling is the person who traversed both countries.
You mean the fake Yatagarasu?
In one way or another, the Yatagarasu is connected. Of this, I'm sure. Now then, where was the Yatagarasu first spotted?
I believe it was the rose garden on the Alabastian side of the embassy. The garden is just on the other side of this boundary. It's where Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight. At least, that's where I heard the Yatagarasu had appeared. In that case, I believe it's vital that I investigate the rose garden post-haste.
Wait, before you go, take a look at this, Mr. Edward.
What is it?
My guess is that it's a guitar pig. I picked it up just now over there. Do you think it'll be of any use?
There is a little water on it, but how did the water get on it? It doesn't look like there's anything it could get wet from around here.
I was thinking, they have concerts here at this open air stage from time to time, right?
Alright, I'll find its owner later. Looks like a guitar pick is also wet for some reason.
Oh yeah, there's one more thing. Miss Edgeworth, would you be willing to hold on to this?
What is this?
It's misused perfume. It's a bottle that woman left behind and that I found 7 years ago. I thought that one day it'd be of some use in tracking her down. So I kept it safe all this time.
Thank you. I'd be honored to hold on to it for you. It's still a banger design on the bottle, not gonna lie.
Oh!
I think I'm returning to the investigation in Alabas now, but...
I know. I'll go back to Baba and do some more investigating there.
Good.
The rose garden.
I see you're back, Miles Ashworth.
Oh,
Wrong voice. I thought it would be Lung.
Oh, thanks, Mabel. Although I can't really say I expect much from Scruffy and that girl.
The investigation into many coach and staff hasn't really progressed any. However, the investigation into the Yatagarasu has.
Yes, the Yatagarasu. Even though I find it hard to believe, a person who can freely traverse between the two countries at will, preposterous.
Well, that's what I came here to investigate. I heard that this is what witnesses claim to have seen the Yatagarasu.
That's correct. Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight here in Alabas. And that's when the Yatagarasu appeared. The shadow of the mysterious thief appeared and just as suddenly it vanished. After that, there was the fire at the Baba Lee's embassy that the Yatagarasu started.
There was way more water in there earlier.
I've heard that not a single feather from the Yatagarasu shall escape my diligence.
Sure.
Hi.
Have you finished checking out all the bystanders?
Yes, sir. And we found 14 counts of pickpocketing, 16 counts of illegal parking, and 1 person ran a light, sir.
Don't tell me you didn't find out anything related to the case.
Sir, not a single thing, sir.
Well, now let's just get those other lawbreakers onto the precinct.
Agent Lung.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Prosecutor. I would just like to thank you for your assistance earlier. Make no mistake, it's not like I was trying to help you with what I did.
After I left, did you receive word from Ambassador Alba?
We're to wrap up our bodyguard assignment at the end of today. Oddly enough, we received word from HQ to return home in an urgent matter. As if I can be so easily called away from this case after I've come this far. I swear that I'll find the truth and drag it out screaming into the light. You're with me in that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Yes?
You were working as Ambassador Alba's bodyguard at the time. So, naturally, you witnessed when the Yatagarasu appeared, correct?
Yeah, I saw the thief alright, with my own 2 eyes. The Yatagarasu was always there lurking in the shadows. But when the spotlights were turned on for Ambassador Alba's speech, a shadow appeared. And that's when cries of "It's the Yatagarasu" rang out. The next second, the spotlight went out, and by the time we got the area lit again, the deaf thief had vanished. When we investigated afterwards, we found that the reason the lights went out was because someone had unplugged the extension plug for all the outdoor electronics. You had all of this on one singular extension cord? Whether it was someone doing it on purpose, or simply a guest who tripped over it, we don't know. But one thing is for certain, the Yatagarasu was here. So you're saying that basically all you saw was the thief's silhouette? Yes.
If all you saw was a shadow, then it's entirely possible that the shadow belonged to someone else.
Good thinking, sis. You just might be right. If it weren't for the fact that there was no one else with the same shade. Not among staff or the audience members. My men have already done a thorough check of everyone, so I know I'm right.
Someone else's shadow.
Sounds like a plausible hypothesis.
The roses scattered on the surface of the water, creating a pleasant fragrance. It's just for aesthetics. This pool's water is also used in putting out fires.
I see.
Oh. It will stop filling itself automatically. The fountain spouts are set to stay open until the pool's water reaches a certain level. This water is used to put out fires. I suppose it must be refilled to its normal level, which suggests that this pool was recently used somehow in this embassy. I guess I'll take some notes about it just in case. Auto refills the water when the water level is too low.
What?
What the fuck is wrong with you? How dare you surprise me like that?
I'm sorry. Hey, Edgy. Thanks for what you did back there. Your gratitude are honest enough. More importantly, Larry, this pool is not for your personal enjoyment.
I know that! Do you really think that I'm the type to just jump into a pool, swim around for fun?
Objection!
Alright then. Did you, by chance, fall into the pool? Nice guess, but no dice. You know, my son, right, Edgy? Your son. I guess I kinda lost sight of him when I shook hands with the ambassador. I'm pretty sure he was around here when I last saw him. You imbecile, how can you be so flippant at a time like this? What are you going to do if your son fell into the pool? How old is this child of yours anyway? Huh? Oh, how old is he again? Larry, this is the first I've heard of a son. Who exactly is the mother? He's talking about the steel samurai child thing. Whatever, puppets. He's not talking about an actual kid. The mother? Oh, that chick. The pink princess. The pink princess. Miss Von Kama. I was a bit confused by this man's words for a bit there. However, I believe what he's looking for is the doll of the Iron Infant. Yeah, because I'm the Steel Samurai through and through, heart and soul. And the Iron Infant is my cute little son. You have given a whole new meaning to the phrase an astounding fool. Larry, we have not seen hide nor hair of the Iron Infant. Rest assured that if we should find him, we'll let you know. Now get out of there. Sounds good. In that case, I will search over there. Wait. It's not as if he'll get very far swimming around in that pool. And though he's unrelated to the murders, he sure knows how to cause a lot of trouble. What is wrong with this man? Who are you? Is it possible that the Yatagaras are hidden in these bushes? Of course not, they're rose bushes. You've been spending so much time with Scruffy and that girl, they're rubbing off on you. It's alright, I'll wake you out of your stupor. Ugh, ow. Ow. Now, the next time you feel like sleep talking, remember that I'll whip you for real. All I tried to do was offer up a possibility, and this is what I got. Oh, I wanted to check out this statue, though. A statue of a woman. And one of the ladies pouring water. It says there's a statue of the queen who spoke of love to King Primidex. Well, not such word. It seems that you are lousy at reading a woman's heart. I opened my mouth about the statue and she somehow made the leap to that. The statue bears a resemblance to the Primidex statue. The plaque says King Primidex in the battlefield. In order to save the queen, King Primidex put his life on the line and went to war. So Primidex was actually a person of royal blood. I thought he was simply someone imitating a character from an ancient legend.
Oh, thank you for the fed and the hydrate.
Food is good. Genuinely.
Well, what surprises me is that a real person who looked like the Steel Samurai existed.
I suppose there's that too.
The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagaras.
I believe I figured out its true origin.
I expected no less from my subordinate. Now let's hear what you know of this, on the subject.
What really casts a shadow of the Yatagaras?
This guy. The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagaras. It's not possible that it was created by the statue. Are you playing me for a fool, Miles Hatchboy? The statue bears absolutely no resemblance to the shadow of the Yatagaras.
You are correct. However, the statue is but one part of the whole picture.
What do you mean by only one part?
What is the other part of the real form of the Yatagaras' shadow?
It's another statue.
The Yatagaras' shadow was made from the shadows of these two statues.
Made? What do you mean by that?
Right now the spotlights are all over the place. This is because they were moved when the guests were in a panicked state. However, if we were to restore the lights to where they were when the thief appeared...
You believe that the two shadows will create the Yatagaras' shadow?
Precisely. Now then, watch as I reveal the true form of the Yatagaras. First, if we set up a spotlight to cast a shadow of King Primidex and the battlefield, the shadow of the King statue would appear on the backdrop of the stage. Likewise, if you set a light up on the queen who spoke of love to King Primitus, the silhouette would also appear on the backdrop to the stage. So if you were to combine the two shadows, it looks nothing like the Yatagarasu shadow. Mats Ashworth, how do you explain this grotesque shape? Calm down, Francisca. The way the light needs to be shown on the queen's statue is wrong.
What do you mean by that?
I believe that the whole of the king's shadow needs to be used for this work. However, in the case of the queen, I don't believe her whole shadow is needed. Rather, the person who created the shadow only used one part of her shadow. Only one part. Yes, and that one part alone is enough to fill in the rest of the Yatagarasu shadow. Why did you say that in the first place? You're right, I apologize. What part of the queen's statue was used to complete the Yatagarasu shadow? Her hand. Think back to what is missing in our shadow. 5 long, thin areas, correct? And what does that remind you of? Ah. That's right. It can only be the shadow of the queen's left hand. Francisca, can we please adjust the spotlight's position so that it only shines on the queen's left hand? Alright, let's give it a try and see what we get. Yeah, this is exactly like the shadow I saw. Culprit must have changed the spotlight's positioning beforehand, and then pulled the plug after people saw what the culprit wanted them to see. In the panic, the guests must have moved the spotlights around, which we can assume was also part of the culprit's plan. By the time the lights came back on, the Yatagarasu shadow had vanished, which means that the shadow was a construct from the very beginning. So you see, the Yatagarasu never did visit Alabasta tonight. The only country the thief visited was Babal, although it can be assumed the Yatagarasu had an accomplice in Alabasta. An accomplice? But who? I haven't figured it out yet, but I assume it was the person who set up the shadow show. I sense that the biggest clue yet to solving this case is the existence of this accomplice.
Yay!
How's the investigation going? Oh! With that, if you come to join us in investigating the Yatagarasu, that is definitely not the right voice. I love when I have to play a guessing game of who might be walking in from off-screen, and I always get wrong. I've left the murderer in Agent Lund's charge. And my only target from the very beginning is the Yatagarasu, so yes.
Why do you talk with so many ellipses? Why do you keep taking these pauses? And you're speaking.
So, what have you found out? I got a piece of evidence. May I see it? Sure, but you might regret it.
We're here because we are ready to face whatever may come. If you please.
When people heard the commotion, bystanders started gathering. And one woman claimed, telling me I'm a genuine international journalist. She gave me an interesting picture. Oh no, Lotta, what did you do? A journalist? Well, actually, she's a freelance cameraman. This is the photo I got from her. What in the world?
The Yatagarasu is flying through the air.
Times, they are changing. It's not just man. Evidence, even daylight to us now.
When was this photo taken?
Apparently right after the fires, on the 4th and 5th floors were put out. It was taken from a nearby building that you can see the embassy from.
I see, so this was taken after the fire.
The blur in this picture took off from the Babalese embassy, flew over the boundary, and headed for the embassy of Alabama.
This is simply not possible. People are incapable of flight.
Is that a fact? I've had the pleasure of dealing with a case involving a flying person once.
Actually, come to think of it, I've come across a case like that as well.
2, actually. Maybe it happens more often than we think. I'm up to the task of solving the mystery behind this photograph. Well, the Yatagarasu took off from the Babalese embassy, so I should start from there. Francisca, I need to return to the Babal investigation for a bit. Alright.
Non-answering.
Cage of the flying people. I'll continue investigating on this side of the building. Alright, I'm counting on you.
You're the fad.
Come back, Mr. Edgeworth. Now come on, let's get back to our investigation. Yes, let's. To think after all our running around, we're right back where we started. It would appear that way. Hi, Mr. Edgeworth. Have you found Manny's killer yet? I'm terribly sorry, Ambassador Palladino, but I've yet to find this killer. This murder really was the work of the Yatagarasu. Let's get one thing straight. It was the work of the fake Yatagarasu. The real Yatagarasu is a noble vigilante who is only out to steal the truth. Miss Faraday, please don't make such a sad face. If there's anything I could do for you, all you have to do is ask, alright? Mr. Palladino. Actually, there's one thing you can do. Will you allow us to take another look around? We didn't have enough time to conduct a thorough investigation earlier. Sure, please, feel free to investigate to your heart's content. Also, there are a few questions I'd like to ask you personally, Ambassador. If it will bring a smile back to Miss Faraday's face, then I'll gladly answer anything.
Thank you, Mr. Palladino. You're a total gentleman.
You have to waste such nice words on me, little miss.
Hey, Sir Palladino.
Hey, Sir Palladino. Sugar. Those two sugars show me awfully quick.
You know, it's easy to say we're going to investigate, but where should we begin?
We should probably start by comparing the state of this room before and after the fire. And then we should look into the matter of the suspicious person you spotted.
Yeah, when I came into this room, that person was already gone. But I'm willing to bet that the person I was chasing is Mr. Kojin's killer.
We don't know that yet. However, it's hard to believe that person's unrelated. Furthermore, because the key the key the Yatagarasu stole 7 years ago was found here, it signals that perhaps Ms. Yu is also somehow involved.
I knew it. That woman is almost definitely Mr. Kojin's killer.
Yet again, we don't know that. There are too many mysteries to be solved here. Speaking of the Yatagarasu mysteries, I received a most mysterious photo from Detective Bad.
Uncle Bad? He's taking part in the investigation too?
Yes, he has been chasing after the Yatagarasu for all these years.
But...
Now then, I was told that this photo was taken just after the fire.
But this kinda looks like the person in the long coat I was chasing. Does this mean that I was chasing the fake Yatagarasu after all?
I don't know the answer to your question, but I don't think people can fly either.
But this could be how that person escaped.
Well, we'll need to investigate a bit more before we can say anything about that. In any case, let's not dawdle anymore and pick up our investigation where we left it.
Okay.
Can I check the desk? They said this area was heavily damaged by the fire.
I guess we should hurry up and get started examining everything.
Yeah. There's a bottle of Babalese ink on Mr. Kojin's desk.
And it looks like there's still a lot of ink left inside.
The seal is unbroken, so the fire probably couldn't get into the bottle to burn out the ink.
Hey, Mr. Palladino, it looks like your precious Babalese ink is alright after all.
What? That's all. Ambassador, what do you mean by that? Well, it's just that there's something strange about the ink. Would you mind elaborating on that statement for me, please? Can I check something? Can I check this first? It would appear that this desk also fell victim to the fire.
It doesn't look too damaged. Ooh, I think we can rifle through this drawer a bit.
I suppose we really should take a look. This looks eerily similar to the piece. Yeah, this was written in. The shape of this notepad matches the shape of this note we found.
Hey, you're right. What is it? Looks like something straight out of Monument Valley.
Yes, that notepad is a souvenir from somewhere in your country. We've been collecting them for the purpose of studying them, you see. Yes, I do. You do seem to be quite passionate about it. How would you like to see my souvenir collection? I'd love to show it to you. Are you sure they haven't been burnt to a crisp by the fires? Ambassador Palladino, I wonder if you might recognize the handwriting on this note. This looks like Manny's handwriting. I see, in that case.
Ooh, did you figure something out?
This note was found in Alabast. Specifically, it was found being firmly grasped by the murdered Damascus II.
The Master Second? Then this note...
Yes, it was a request from Mr. Cochin for Damascus II to steal the Primidex statue.
What?
Manny tried to steal Alabast's Primidex statue? We would know for sure if you could run a handwriting analysis. Ambassador, do you have any documents that were handwritten by Mr. Cochin? Yes, I can get a few and give them to you. I have to ask Detective Gumshoe later to run the analysis. I can't believe that Manny would even think of doing something like this. Do you have any idea as to why he would have requested a theft of the statue? There's one possibility, but mind you, it's just my personal speculation. Anything you can tell me would be of great help, Ambassador. Ah, talk to me, talk to me. Now then, Ambassador, I'd like to ask about your movements before the fire broke out. Before the fire? Which fire are you talking about? Which one? There was more than one tonight? Huh? Ah, I see. I guess you didn't hear about it. We had 2 fires here at the Babalese embassy tonight. What a bother all of that was.
Wait, but the only fire we know about is the one after the Jamming Ninja show.
First occurred at the start of the Jamming Ninja show. Luckily, only the 4th and 5th floors of our embassy caught on fire. Not wanting to cause a panic among the theatergoers, we decided to keep it internal. Then the fire after the Jamming Ninja show was the second one of the night? Exactly. So the fire I witnessed was the second one. To think of it, didn't Detective Bad make reference to the first fire? Yeah, one was the photo taken right after the fires on the 4th and 5th floor. Yeah. I suppose this means that the photo was taken just after the first fire was put out.
So then, what was the extent of the damage in the second fire?
The second fire was contained to this floor, the 3rd floor. I think it was leftover embers from the fire on the floors above it that caused it. That's... how should I put this? A very bad stroke of luck. My office on the 5th floor, Manny's office here, and Manny himself, all gone in the blink of an eye. 2 fires broke out in Babal today.
I feel so sorry for you, Mr. Palladino.
Look at me going on and on. Now then, what was it you wanted to ask again? We were discussing what your actions and whereabouts for today were, and if you happen to know what Mr. Cochin's actions and whereabouts were as well. Yes, very well. Let's see, I've been quite busy all day from morning until now. First I woke up and then I brushed my teeth. After that I had a roll for breakfast. Fascinating. How about if you just skip to the relevant parts for me? Oh, you'd like a condensed version? Alright, I can do that for you. So what did Mr. Cochin and you do this morning? Well, originally we were supposed to meet and shake hands with the Jamming Ninja. But Manny and I wanted to turn it into a photo op, so we were here tidying up his office. You helped clean Mr. Cochin's office. Why were you not cleaning your own? Ah, I think I forgot to mention this, but my office is currently undergoing renovations. Oh. Which is why both the Primidex statue and the Babalese knife set are down here. I see. Oh, but the tidying didn't take much, really. We just burned some files we no longer needed and expired coupons on the fireplace.
But cleaning up the fireplace must have been a real pain now, huh?
About that. kind of forgot to clean the ashes out. So I'm up a creek without many here to get angry at me. An ambassador like yourself has been on the receiving end of a secretary's anger. Oh, he was very good at being very mad. Just this morning he got mad at me. I spilled some bubbly's ink onto the back wall when it was burning the files, you see. He got mad at me, saying that I should treat the ink with more respect. Talk about the boss getting bossed around. Spilled bubbly's ink into the back wall with burning files and fireplace left, I shall say. That's about it for what we did this morning, just some cleaning. Tell me you had no other work to do? Being an ambassador, no? You don't want the answer to that, Edgeworth. Now then, if you could tell me what you and Mr. Cochin did this afternoon? Well, Manny and I went down together to the Theatrum Neutralis. We had to be there for the start of the Steel Samurai stage show. After the show started, I went back to my office on the 5th floor alone. So I were together until the start of the Steel Samurai show. A little while later, after I had straightened myself up a bit, I returned to the theater. Because I was to take part in a photo op on stage at the end of the show. There was a commemorative photo op at the end. It was a fantastic photo of the three of us, Ambassador Alba, the Steel Samurai, and myself. After the photo shoot, I went back to my office on the 5th floor to prepare for my handshake photo op with the Jamming Ninja. Seems to be rather overworked for an ambassador. When I got to my office, that's when the first fire broke out and I escaped down the stairs. My office was completely destroyed, but thankfully no one was hurt. I admit I ran away from the first fire as fast as my legs could carry me. But during the second one, I pitched in and helped the embassy staff put it out. So you didn't see Mr. Cochin again after the start of the Steel Samurai show? Yes, that's right. The next time I saw him, he was lying there, in an eternal sleep. Let's see. Ambassador Palladino, I thank you very much for your help. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance, Mr. Ashworth. If there's anything else, please don't hesitate to ask, alright? I wonder if you might tell me what you noticed about Mr. Cochin's bottle of ink. I just thought of it right now, but... During the second fire, Manny was worried about his office, so he came rushing back to it. I called out to him, and when I received no reply, I used my spare key to open the door. When I did, I was greeted by roaring green flames. Flames were so big that I wasn't able to see into the room at all. The fire was green. What was the cause? The fucking... Oh my god. It's finally coming up. I keep wondering, like, ever since they told us that it's made with wheat crystal oil and that the wheat crystal oil burns green, I was like, when is this going to become relevant? Well, wheat crystal oil burns green when it's lit, as you can see by this lantern. And bubbly's ink is made from the same oil, which means it would also burn. You know, I too had thought it was Manny's ink that had caught on fire. So that's why I was surprised to find out there was still a bottle of ink left on his desk. Case of the perplexing green flames. Talk about a mystery. What exactly was it that caught on fire in here? I believe that you said you might have an idea as to why Mr. Cochin hired the Master Second. Actually, I fear it may be my fault. As I was telling you earlier, we were to determine which statue was the real one as a part of today's event. But because of the Yatagarasu in the fire here, that got cancelled, didn't it? I'm actually relieved the rest of the event has been cancelled. For you see, Babal's statue, well, it's just a replica. And did Mr. Cochin know that about Babal's Primiduck statue? Of course he knew. That's why he was the only person I could consult with. We'd have to do something once our statue was revealed as a replica. As to be expected, I was very nervous today as this would impact our country's authority. Yes, I understand. Well, when I told Manny my concerns, he said let me handle it, it'll be alright. I found a way to make sure you're the ambassador of this reunited Kodobia. At the time I thought he was just trying to cheer me up. But when I saw that note, I realized he was serious. Mr. Cochin conducted a lot of business behind your back. I assume he did all that to ensure that you were the next Kodopian ambassador. But why was he trying so hard, I wonder? He was so much better at getting things done than I ever was or will be. don't have an answer yet as to why he was trying so hard, but I suspect he had an ulterior motive in mind beyond just simple kindness.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hi. Detective Kamshu, have you collected the information that I requested?
Yep, got all right here, sir.
Here you go, okay? Feel free to take a look. It's for you, after all.
What is all this, Gummy?
It's all the information on his room that I got from the embassy and Interpol people. Embassy. Now we know exactly how this room was before and after the fire. Good work, Detective. No, I was nothing, sir. I'm an expert at getting people to talk.
Oh, you two remind me so much of my father and Uncle Bad.
What do you mean?
As prosecutor and detective, your dynamic is just like theirs back in the day. Well, don't you worry, I'm going to find my own wonderful partner someday. And when I do, I'm going to become a good Yatagarasu just like my father, right?
Please don't ask me questions to which I have no answers to, okay?
However, I can say that it's truly a wonderful thing to find a partner you can trust. You bet. So what now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, I'd like to ask you for a favor.
Yes?
The gadget, Mr. Thief, is it? That thing you call your secret weapon.
Oh, you mean Little Thief? You're coming to rely on it, aren't you?
I don't need a crutch like that. I'm only asking because I need it for the investigation. From the information Detective Gumshoe gathered and the ambassador's testimony, I'd like you to please recreate this room as it was during the third floor fire.
You got it. Alright, here we go. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
Seems there are other things besides what the ambassador mentioned that have changed. It's possible that we might find the escape route the person KSR used as well. Oh, what is this? It's some sort of light show I was not told about.
This is the power of a true vigilante. It's recreating the room with the info I inputted.
Really? There's certainly one interesting device you have there, Miss Faraday. I believe it's about time we turn to our investigation. Okay. Detective, you took part in the initial Babal investigation, correct?
Yep, sure did. Also, I'll put out both fires, sir.
The first fire took me by surprise. I had a tough time escaping the 5th floor. First I tried the elevator, but I guess someone else had the same idea because it was in use. If I hadn't remembered to use the stairs at that point, I've been bored to a crisp.
I thought you're not supposed to use an elevator in case of a fire.
Wait, that's odd. We always warn our staff that in case of a fire, it's dangerous to use the elevator. Oh?
Maybe someone wrote it in a fit of panic.
Detective, did you see the Yatagarasu that came into the Babalese embassy at all? I didn't personally. And the other staff members told me they never got a good look at the person either, sir. I wonder if you could tell me a bit more about what you discovered, Detective.
The second fire broke out around the time the Yatagarasu was spotted in Alabasta.
That's also when a suspicious person was spotted in Babal, which caused some panic. So no one was able to get a good look at the Yatagarasu that entered Babal.
Yeah, all they saw was a mysterious person wearing a long coat. But it's not enough to make a positive ID, you know.
Still, it was enough to make the people who received the calling card panic even more.
Person in a long coat. Sounds like the exact same person I saw.
The Yatagarasu that appeared in Alabasta was proven to be just a fabrication, a shadow. In light of that fact, the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babal is also suspect.
You can't be serious. No one were this close to capturing the fake. I mean, Callista, you.
So the Yatagarasu appeared, caused mass confusion, killed Mr. Coach, and then disappeared. By the way, Detective, why did you not chase after the Yatagarasu? I did, but, well, this embassy is huge, sir. I got separated from the other staff members I was with and was lost for a while. You didn't even memorize the layout of the building you were to guard, Detective? I'll be sure to do it from now on, sir. You know, it was thanks to me being lost that I was able to come to Kay's rescue. Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah. It was when I was lost and wandering around the 3rd floor hallway, sir. When I heard a scream, I headed towards it right away.
Oh, that's probably from when I found Mr. Kojin's body.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like her, so I got real worried and ran as fast as I could.
And it was thanks to Gummy that Miss Sheena wasn't able to take me away. He covered for me until you got here, Miss Dashwood.
Oh, I see. So he can be useful once in a blue moon. He is useful. Time and time again. Don't be so mean.
Still, it's too bad that Agent Sheena got here before I did.
I wonder where Agent Sheena was before you found her here.
Well, just before I got to this room, I saw her coming out of the room next door.
Agent Sheena mentioned something about chasing the Yatagarasu herself earlier.
Well, she apparently helped in putting out the first fire. Then, during the second fire, I heard she was busy chasing the Yatagarasu.
She seems to be a very dedicated agent. You would do well to learn from her.
Why are you pointing at me when you say that, sir?
Alright.
His grandfather clock. It was apparently in a different position before the fire. According to staff members, the clock was flush against the wall before. According to staff members, the clock was flush against the wall before the fire, sir. Which means that most likely it was moved by someone during the fire.
Speaking of which, it's totally 11 o'clock now, but I don't hear any chiming.
Chiming? That's odd. It was still chiming right on the dot of every hour this morning. Maybe the fire damaged its internal mechanism or something. Ambassador Paleno, maybe take a look inside that clock? Sure, go on right ahead. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please inspect the insides of this clock. Yes, sir. I'm on it. Miss Edgeworth, I found this inside, sir. Looks like a length of wire, so this is what caused the clock to stop chiming. But what was a long length of wire doing inside this clock in the first place? Why would someone do this to such a valuable clock?
Looks like it was Mr. Palomino that put the wire in there.
Yeah, perhaps it was Mr. Coach's killer who did. Can I check out the fire? These must have been the large green flames Ambassador Palomino saw.
Flames like these, it's no wonder he couldn't get in.
Okay, by the time you came into this room, had the fire already been put out?
Yeah, the fire had died out or something by that time.
And this fire in here only burned from the time the fire started on the 3rd floor, until the Yatagarasu appeared and caused a stir in Babal, I suppose.
Guess Mr. Palomino was just lucky enough to run into this fire as it was burning, huh?
Yes, you could put it that way. And since you were the first to discover the body, we can assume that no one else entered the room until that time. No one other than the person you were chasing, of course.
I knew it. That person I saw was definitely up to no good. I mean, the person could even be Mr. Kojin's killer.
That is very likely to be the case. After all, the person came into this room before you, and must have chosen this room precisely because they knew no one would be in here.
Okay, then maybe the green fire was where it was to prevent anyone from coming in. But then, what did the person set on fire to make the green flames?
Well, whatever it is that person burned, it made a rather sizable fire.
And since the fire's green, well, we've seen something that burns green, right? It's a bit tinier than these flames, but you get what I mean.
Yes, and I do believe that what you're thinking is exactly why these flames are green. Which fire-related piece of evidence burns the same color as these green flames?
The lantern.
The silhouette lantern. Its green flames come from the wheat crystal oil it's burning.
Yeah, that's the fire I was thinking of too. I love the green it gives off.
I think we've now established that the green flames were caused by wheat crystal oil. I keep going even more and more with her voice. Furthermore, we know that there's only one other thing made from wheat crystal oil.
Oh, you mean that thing Mr. Palomino was mistaken about, right?
Yes, precisely. As they found out earlier in our investigation. What? I don't get it. Can you fill me in, sir? Fine, I suppose. I'll explain it in a way that even you can understand. This is the thing made from wheat crystal oil that Ambassador Palomino was mistaken about.
The ink.
Bubbly's ink is made from wheat crystal oil.
Oh, so it should burn the same color as the flames in a lantern, right?
Yes, precisely.
However, the green flames in this room were not from a bottle of Bubbly's ink.
Because we found the ink Mr. Cochin used on his desk, right?
Yes, however, we know that Mr. Cochin was smuggling the ink in massive quantities. And what do you suppose he made using all that ink? I believe what he made with that ink is the answer to what gave birth to the green flames.
Oh yeah, I'm beginning to really feel the energy coming from you, Mr. Ashworth.
It would appear that I finally found it, the smuggling ring's real goal. Made of Bubbly's ink, this is the source of the green flames. The counterfeit bill. What would consume that great of a volume of ink to make? That would be counterfeit bills that the smuggling ring made and are circulating in Shangfa.
You're kidding! You're saying that it was Mr. Cochin who made the counterfeit bills?
I am. I believe you could even go so far as to say that he stole Babal's printing press. Ambassador, Mr. Cochin had permission to freely use the printing press, correct?
Why, yes, and I do remember seeing him use it in the middle of the night. But never did I think he was using it for such a foul deed.
Ambassador, because of your secretary's crimes, you will need to be investigated as well.
Yes, I suppose so. Caused a bit of trouble for a few countries, haven't they?
It's my duty to search out all who shielded Mr. Cochin and concealed his crime. But they are the ones who started the fire in order to destroy the evidence. Examined everything in this office, but there's one thing that bothers me. Perhaps I should ask Ambassador Palladino about it. Ambassador Palladino, there's something I'd like to ask you about.
Yes.
About this office, it appears to me to be very similar to Ambassador Alba's office. For example, the location of the fireplace and the position of the grandfather clock.
Ah, that's right, you've also paid a visit to the Alabastian side of the embassy.
Our two embassies actually used to be one, now I'm aware. Yes, I know. Even the pamphlet mentioned that.
Which is why the building is bilaterally symmetrical.
So no matter which room, the location of the fireplace and the like are exactly the same. Oh. Even where the art is located is the same, as my room is currently under renovation. We worked hard to make Manny's room look like the ambassador's office.
You mean for your handshake photo with the jamming ninja?
Yes, that's right. I mean, what's a photo like that worth if it's not taken in the ambassador's office, right? Fair. Actually, fair. Yet another odd expression for Bal's obsessively competitive spirit with Alabasta, I take it. Thank you, Ambassador. That piece of information is all I needed to connect the dots. Connect what dots? Well, anyway, I'm glad I was able to be of some help. Yeah. The Alabastian and Bubbly sides of the building are symmetrical to each other. As we know that to be a fact, then this room's fireplace may also hide a secret passageway.
A secret passageway?
In Alabasta, the fireplace turned out to have a revolving back wall.
A revolving wall? It sounds like something out of a ninja house.
There's a like that built into the fireplace, sir. This embassy holds that kind of secret?
There seems to be a lot about this room that you don't know about, Ambassador.
Guess it's time to pay the bill for letting Manny do so much work for me. Please, I really want to know about the real Manny and what you know about this room.
What are you waiting for, Miss Edgeworth? Let's get to the bottom of this.
Agreed, and my first thought is that it's likely that the killer used a revolving fireplace.
Looks like just another fireplace though, doesn't it? How do you turn it again?
In Alabasta, I had to push where the X was on the far wall of the fireplace.
You see an X back there, sir? Let's see what happens when I push it. You scared me, sir.
There's something about this fireplace that lies in contradiction to the facts.
Oh, you found an X where you thought there'd be one, right?
We did, but that's not what I was referring to. Something is missing from this scene. What does the contradiction mean for us? What I see inside this fireplace is starter wood.
That's odd. Doesn't match up with what Mr. Palladino said earlier.
Oh. Ambassador Palladino, you said that you burned some old files in his fireplace today, correct?
Yes, I burned quite a few files this morning, actually.
And after you did, you forgot to clean out the ashes from the fireplace, correct?
That's right, but why are you asking? And why are you making such a scary face?
I'm sorry, I admit I'm a bit intimidating when I'm serious. In any case, take a good look at this fireplace and tell me what you find odd about it.
Let's see. Oh, where did all the ashes go?
What's the meaning of this, Mr. Ashworth?
You don't really think that Ambassador Palladino's lying, do you?
No, there's no reason for him to lie. I don't believe his testimony is wrong either. It is the fireplace that's causing the contradiction. Hey, I wonder if you might update the fireplace data for me?
You got it. I'll let in the ashes from the burned files and... Sounds like you've pretty much figured everything out now, huh?
Well, it was nothing. All I did was follow where our leads led us.
Oh, his sons are coming on. You're about to dazzle us again, right?
You mean that? Well, that's what Mr. Ashworth is known for, you know?
There's really no need for you two to dance around the name of what I'm about to do.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
The reason as to why the ashes are missing is simple.
It's not because someone cleaned them up, right?
No, because even if someone did sweep them up, the fireplace is too clean for that. Ambassador Palladino said that he spilled some Bubbly's ink while he was burning the files. And yet, there's not a trace of the spilled ink on the back wall anywhere.
Well, then I don't know what happened.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. The two sides were switched. By using the revolving fireplace wall, the ashes were moved into the neighboring room. Which means that this is a clear indication that the fireplace was used. Yeah.
Then you mean the person I was chasing disappeared from this room through there?
Yes, I believe the person you were in pursuit of is Mr. Cochin's killer. And after committing the murder, escaped through the fireplace.
Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you figured out the killer's escape route.
I have, but this is only the beginning. Now we have to chase the killer down. If the killer used the fireplace in this room to escape into the next, then it's only logical for us to talk with the person who was in a neighboring room. Well, the person who was in the next room was...
Oh, it was that person, sir.
Yes, Detective. Agent Shiro.
It's looking more and more like Machina as a killer, isn't it?
Let's not jump to conclusions yet. We need to go through what we know so far. She came running straight into this room from the next one and instantly accused you. Furthermore, she claimed that it could only have been you that killed Mr. Cochin. I don't have any proof yet, however, I know she's hiding something from us.
Okay then, why don't we go ask Machina herself?
No, not yet. There's something that needs to be done first, Detective Gumshoe.
Sir, is it my turn to do something, Mr. Ashworth?
Yes, I have a two-part special assignment for you. First, I need you to run a handwriting analysis on the masked second's note.
Okay, I'll get the lab boys on it right away.
Second, I want you to see if you can fit through the revolving fireplace wall.
Right now, sir?
No, next decade. Of course now. We need to test our hypothesis first, don't we?
Hi, Humpy. Go on, Gummy, you can do it.
Alright, I'm gonna do this like a real man. Here you go, to the fireplace and back.
You shouldn't need to psych yourself up that much for such a simple task, Detective.
Ow, the wall inside the fireplace really did turn.
That's so neat. Now I want to try going through that too.
There really is a secret passageway through there? I had no idea. It would appear that the ash really was pushed into the other room. Furthermore, the bubbly's ink you spilled, the bastard is there on the back wall. Okay, here goes, sir. Detective, I'd like you to go through there under the same conditions as the killer. But it's all that ash and stuff. And your point is? Now we're short on time, so if you could please hurry on through. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we pretty much have the whole picture, right?
No, not yet. There remains a few more mysteries to solve. Such as the Yatagara's whereabouts, the other smuggling ring members, the 2 weapons that made it across the border, the key Miss Yu stole 7 years ago. In fact, we haven't figured out a thing regarding how Miss Yu is related to these embassies.
Mr. Edgeworth,
A number of pieces connect in a very complicated way in this case. It's almost enough to make one completely mentally exhausted.
what are you saying, Mr. Edgeworth? I thought you were the one who said that it's easy if you follow the leads.
Was that supposed to be an impression of me? Okay.
If it's unforgettable you need Gummy and I can help with that. Then all you have to do is show off your fancy smanchy logical deductions.
Show off. Does it seem like I'm being boastful when I do that?
Let's not overcomplicate matters, okay, Mr. Edgeworth? You've been so focused like a laser on only what seems strange and out of place. It's no wonder nothing's clicked and we haven't unlocked anything yet. If you think things through calmly, the answer should come to us.
Hey.
That's the sort of thing I say to myself. When I'm practicing how to unlock padlocks, you know?
That is something that I hope practice does make perfect for your sake.
Yeah, looks like you're back to your straight-laced self again.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm back, sir. Yes, I can see that. Good work, detective. Looks like you can use the fireplace like a door, sir.
Are you alright, Gummy?
I'm okay. It's just a bit of ash and dust, that's all. Your jacket has gotten quite filthy. I see the ham has practically turned black. Yeah, well, quite a bit of the unburned ink got on it, sir. I see. Thank you, detective. You did a fine job. I'll even pay the cleaning bill for the trench coat. What? Oh no, sir. I could never. This is just my old coat, sir. If it was a coat I actually cared about, then I'd get it cleaned, but, you know. I see. Very well, then. As you wish.
So because Gummy was able to climb through the fireplace, we know it can be used, right?
Yes, but that's not all we learned. We actually learned one other important fact.
And that is?
I'll have to explain it to you later. Right now, we need to deal with the handwriting analysis. Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir. I'll be back before you know it. The handwriting analysis of Mr. Coach's handwriting will take a bit of time. Let us go and wait in the theater of Mutalis, along with Agent Lang and Agent Sheena.
Perfect! Perfect, see?
We're hitting it to be nice. Yes, I would like to save here, and then I would like to end here.
No, no, no. No. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. Perfect.
Stop. Oh. Oh my god. Game was like, why are you pressing the button so many times? Stop. Yes, I would like to go back to the title. And here I was thinking like, I really want to end. I really need to end.
But yay!
This is nice. Thank you for the pad. It's called skills, not luck. Nice. Well, you know, I'm glad I even had the energy to just do the stream today, because with my different work hours, it's been. I'm so glad it's already Wednesday. It's only 2 more days. 2 more days to somehow make it through, because wow. It's like because a colleague is actually on holiday and and we have a bunch of work to do, and now both of my bosses are also sick. It's hell. Work hours. No, I have different work hours than usual, so I work longer. I have to get there earlier, and I work longer, so I am immensely tired. So I'm like, oh, this is good. I only have to go a few minutes over, and I can save right here. That is perfect. Yeah, work hours, sorry. Nice. It is. It's only gonna be for this week though, so I'm somehow gonna make it through. I hope, and then... You're tired, me too. A tire? Wait, a tire? Ja, ich fühle mich auch geredet. But yeah, this is gonna be it for tonight. This is gonna be it for tonight. We'll continue this one on Sunday. And I'm gonna try and see if I can maybe start it a little early on Sunday so we can for sure make it through the rest of the game. Ooh, you're gonna test Monster Hunter Wilds? Let's go! I hope you get to enjoy that. I'm gonna wait. But yeah, I'm gonna... You should not try and buy figurines at a con, actually. They go for way higher prices than they should because they always make them more expensive. But I wish you luck anyway. No, thank you guys for coming by. Have a good night. On Friday, assuming work doesn't actually fucking kill me completely, we are actually gonna start with another Atelier game for once. Finally, to get out of my Atelier slump. This game on Sunday. Saturday, hopefully more Octopath. But for now, have a good night. Thank you. I'm gonna try. Good luck to you, Humpy. I'm gonna be thinking of you at the weekend, so you hopefully find those figurines. Have a good night.
And bye-bye.
And say hi to
Tip. Tip who's playing Comfy Cozy Fields of Mystria. Good night.